Hello, everybody. Brian here from quantlabs.net. This is um, uh, Substack. Can't remember what they call them, but Substack. It's an interesting one. I got this from a commenter on my YouTube channel. Thanks to everybody, first of all, for uh, getting a lot of views on YouTube. My Quant Labs. A lot of people, 500 views in a day, 2 days. It's pretty incredible. So this article or Substack is from a commenter, I think Jacob, and you can see here it's called Quant Journey with Code. So you can join and subscribe to this journey, I guess we call it, for quants in algo trading, and you can see here algo trade beginner course. So I think you pay, was it $13 a month for this? You can see here. Let's see how often. So he loaded up a lot of articles here at the beginning. Beginner's course, further into DB, local time series, local DB, machine learning, probability density functions. That's an important one when it comes to actual quant itself. There's so much stuff here when it comes to quant. Stochastic modeling, another one. Ito, I think it's pronounced. Again, I'm not a detailed quant here, but I do my best to just help people, guide people into areas that they may want to look at. But you can get easily overwhelmed here. But this is an interesting set of articles. Backtesting for beginners. I can talk about that. Just so you know, I want to make sure if you want to continue along with what I'm posting, just go to quantlabs.net. Sorry, I would say quantlabsnet.com. You have two choices here. You can learn, and I do TradingView myself. I find it's the quickest path to learning about trading and somewhat how to trade from a programming standpoint using PineScript. You can do that here by joining this, and I'll leave the other option to the end. Anyways, coming back to this article, where is it? Right here. You can see here Python magic methods in object-oriented programming for financial applications. This is where I kind of would stray away from this. I've been coding since I've been 14, so that's going to put me 40 years doing this. Um, I've always known Python to be a scripting language, an interpreted language, not a compiling language. If you want to take object oriented into a scripting language, you can get hairy very quickly and you can generate a lot of not great code. So that's something I wouldn't do. If you want to do that, stick with your Java, C Sharp, and C++ for that. It's those languages are built for object oriented programming. Back testing, the people are going to ask, what's the difference between Python and C++ or Java? This is how a lot of the trading firms do it. They will use Python as their way to prototype models, prototype trading ideas, prototype trading strategies. Then they're going to have the coders, the C++ coders, usually work with internally built libraries, framework, in most likely C++ at the high end firms, the name brand firms, we'll call them, that do HFT and making probably billions at it. What I'm finding is you could build a basic small trading system, but if you're trying to do it at a high level, at a high speed level, you have to keep it to the three languages I mentioned: C++, C Sharp, Java. I've talked about that in past videos. That Linux is the standard to do it in, so you're pretty well going to be forced to do C++, especially if you're doing this as a career path, um, and whatnot. So object-oriented programming in Python, I just can't comprehend it. There's simple ways to do it, but I've seen it where if it's done wrong, it becomes really ugly really fast. Python's not really built for that. Back testing, again, that's where I came back with Python. When you prototype a model, that's all fine and good. When you prototype it, you can still back test it in uh, in Python. There is a, I don't know how popular it still is, but there's a pretty good framework for that. One of the things I would like to mention is that MATLAB's always been like all in one for all of this sort of stuff. But obviously, it's not as popular as Python has pretty well taken over R and MATLAB. So stick with Python. But if you want world class with the documentation from the commercial side, MATLAB is worth looking into. So right here, what you need to understand is this is zero to hero for beginners. I've got a course on that zero to hero. I used to have it, but I don't think I've ported it over to the new domain. Let me just see here. If I go under the program list, it may be out there still. No, I don't have it. So I used to have a course called Zero to Hero in Algo Trading, but this kind of might kind of cover that as well. So I guess that's the first section for this. So this covers kind of the popular components, obviously, the courses, the plotting, the database, the machine learning aspect of. I just talked to a guy this morning, a student going in, being a full time student at master's level. Hopefully, we'll have him live uh, doing an interview with him. They'll get posted next week sometime, depending upon how that goes. But I'm like I told him, I'm using him as a showcase to. These are the kind of things that young folks need to have in order to get recognized by the recruiters in these big firms, the high paying firms as well. He's got a bang on. He's got a great GitHub repository. He's done a lot of self learning to get the recognition from like quantnet.com, so on and so forth. So he's now at a at a master's level as well. I think taking some form of engineering. So hopefully we'll get to know him if he chooses to come aboard and do the video. Um, anyways, probability, another area. Okay, so then you get, instead of getting into the back testing, stochastic modeling. There's so many different ways to do modeling when it comes to quant trading. Comprehensive guide to writing Python code, and then there's the object oriented. When it comes to these sort of things, any person can have their own methodology that they think is best. Personally, I don't think there's a right or wrong about it. From my perspective, I just put out stuff that I'm comfortable with doing to make my life easier. A couple of my videos I won't say have gone viral, but they've done okay compared to other videos that I've done over the last 10 plus years. So those are kind of important. Now, when it comes to things like Quant Journey, it is a journey. Probably till you're put in the grave 6 feet under. If you're doing this for life, like there's no doubt about it. Along here, these are now areas: portfolio optimization. I've got a script that's been used by insiders for portfolio optimization. That's probably when machine learning and AI started coming out. That was probably the best method or application used for, call it quant in machine learning, because with portfolio optimization, you can use a mix of assets that you like and that look good, and then you can run it against the different modeling techniques like Markowitz and whatnot to optimize and forecast, which will give you the best returns as well as the most optimal allocations on the asset mix that you want. So that's an important one. Everything is all important, but people just don't realize how many different ways to apply this. Accelerating code in quant finance. Again, financial alpha strategies, parsing. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, using Numba. I've used these sort of things. These can get complicated quite easily. But again, depending upon your career path, a lot what will be done, you design your model and then it's going to get recoded uh, in C++. That's usually what a lot of the big firms do. So they'll use, again, as I said, Python for the prototyping, and then for the live trading, they'll recode that and C++ into the frameworks and the basically the infrastructure that a firm will have. So Numba is just a way to kind of try to speed up the coding, and that can be, again, there's C Python and there's a whole it's a complete nightmare there. So again, here we got decoding financial alpha strategies, making sure that everybody understands what alpha is. When you generating alpha, what you're trying to do, which only let's say 95%, no, let's say 90%, a financial advisor will beat alpha or generate alpha. So what you're trying to do there is you're trying to, with the benchmark of S&P 500 or QQQ, if you're able to beat that consistently, whatever trading you do, you're generating alpha. That's when you get the attention of traders, trading operations. If you can continually build and generate alpha, because that's what trading firms want. Not many people can do that, and you can apply all the different types of trading, fundamental, technical analysis, quant, all that to this concept to generate alpha. Decoding successful alpha, the combinatory approach. Again, what needs to be understood here is when it comes to stuff anywhere online, including me, um, to take somebody seriously, we need to see their trading results, and nobody's going to do it. Even I'm not here to do that. I mean, my system picked up a beautiful trade on Bitcoin, and today's Monday. And if you haven't seen Bitcoin move today, it's up close to 10%. So my system picked that up, and it did well. How often do those trades happen? Not a lot, but if you can analyze why it's happening, great. But the thing is that that's pretty hard to do consistently. Now, here's the thing: is decoding successful alpha. Here you can see they got the Sharpe ratio of greater than 1.5. I hate to break it. I think it's going to be higher than 2.0. Like that's Goldman Sachs level, where you get into your 7-digit packages for traders, algo traders as well, or whoever's designing the thing. Robust backtesting, trading framework, event driven. That's a good topic there. Um, so there are other frameworks in Python that help get there, I think. Uh, and backtesting again. So these are now June 19th. So they're somewhat fairly recent. Uh, okay, now you can see here he's using IBKR or interactive brokers. I use the same. From what I've seen, a lot of the what's the right word? Basement quants, I believe. Mario, I can never say his De La Prado, De La, or I'll get it. But he's probably ranked the number one quant in the world. Up there, number two and number one, definitely Dr. Ernie Chan. I've talked about. But those are your top two dogs in the space that are most well known. What he says is he's used the term basement quant. So that's where that came from. It was in a conference he was part of last year. So that's what I like to call people, including me, garage operation basement quant. As I say, I'm not a quant, but I'm more on the periphery of it. But lacking in the weeds, knee deep. Yeah, I like to get there, but there's always a distraction that takes away the focus, right? And it's coming back to interactive brokers. So all the basement quants will typically use interactive brokers for their trading. It was built by a programmer. I can't remember his name. It's Hungarian, the founder. And pretty well interactive brokers is built for programmers with their APIs, highly advanced APIs, especially in things like C++ and even with Linux support. Now, would I, for high frequency trading, when I use interactive brokers? No, but um, from from a retail trading point of view, yeah, interactive brokers is really good for that. Wow, this is quite a bit. So again, he's now this guy Jacobs now. I think if he's European, it'd be Jakob. I was saying, but we'll say Jakob. I'm thinking. So, anyways, he's back testing with now ML, machine learning. The the one guy I talked to this morning said, yeah, if you put anything out, machine learning and AI, you're going to be like going up there and hitting stratospheric levels in terms of trading. I'm nowhere near that. I can again talk about it. I just don't want to be one of these fools on and Instagram and TikTok talking about my great AI strategy and it's built by some uh, coder out of wherever. And oh yeah, it's a secret to success. Give me $1 million for the solution. We're not talking about that. we're talking about primitive machine learning, raw coded. Efficient multi-asset. Oh, and when it comes to machine learning, yeah, machine learning is definitely going to take over back testing without a doubt. Efficient multi-asset portfolio management, portfolio data, and instrument data classes. So you can see here what I've not looked at the details of this Substack, but this is what I'm assuming. He is building out a uh, probably a system of some kind. But I'm just showing you generally the journey of this guy is going through to put out his details of how this is being built out. So there you go. So these are all the different components here. So we've got now machine learning built in. We've got now a system with his, I'm assuming again, Python using his Python system using object oriented programming. Nothing wrong with it. Personally, I wouldn't do it. I'd be doing it in Java, C++, as I said earlier. But he's got the two classes here. That's probably the base standard set of classes to build out now what appears to be a framework from that. And then he's building on top of the visualization. And then again, the framework itself that's leading into this system it looks like he's building out. Now, is it out there on GitHub? I don't know. And get the code. So there's a code out there that you pay for. So it's a good spot to learn. Why not? Um, and I just wanted to let you know about that. Coming back to what I do, hey, you gotta eat, right? You gotta keep the lights on. That's what this is about. So quantlabs.net, quantlabsnet.com. If you're learning through this channel and you're coming into this channel, I like to see comments. People are putting out suggestions out there. One was on PyKX. Understand this. It takes a lot of work to set up a system or a framework, get KX as well, load it up. It takes a lot of work. I don't personally don't see the point for me to do that when KX themselves has done that for you. You go to their channel at KX, look it up, and you can learn about PyKX. So PyKX is the framework to the KDB internal high-speed database, we'll call it. I did an interview not too long ago on KX, so you can look for that either KDB or KX. Search that on my channel. So comments are coming in, which is great. I appreciate them, but also understand the time it takes to put time into stuff like this. For me, just to talk out of literally my butthole, it's easier. And but I want to put useful information out there. A lot of people want to see that. I have no problem with it, but what guides me is two things: is the comments. That's most important to me. If you want to subscribe, continue learning what I put out. That's another great option. And the likes obviously help too, because that tells then YouTube that you like the stuff. And so far, it's been great. Um, so if you like it, you know what to do. I'm not going to beg you to do any of that, but you know what to do if you're on YouTube. So again, when it comes to stuff that I do, as I said, if you come to my site, quantlabsnet.com, this is a brand new domain, just so you know, it's about approaching 2 months old. So I'm starting over from quantlabs.net, that website, moving it into Wix and Wix, and then using everything that Wix has to make my life easier, to make the website better. So I went with a new domain, and there's two components here. As I said here at the top, I haven't really, honestly, I haven't had time. But if you want to know the easy path to get yourself up and running, opt into what I put out on the 5 day, sorry, on my 45-minute intro on why I think TradingView is probably the best path to go, depending upon if you're trying to make a career, okay. Uh, but if you're trying to get an auto trading business up and running, TradingView, without the doubt, is the best path for you. So I got a 45-minute video to show you why and all the different features of TradingView. You'll hopefully that'll blow your mind. Even on the high frequency trading level, the data that you can get through TradingView for the low cost of what you pay, no other place you can get that at all. Also, lastly, I've just started setting this up. I've been in this for quite a while. A lot of people want to get into auto trading, benefit from auto trading or from algo trading. I am now at a point where I can help literally build a setup for you with TradingView. If you want to talk to me about it, just come under here, book online, and click on that auto trading, and I'll kind of tell you about it. But I got to protect my time here. That's why I do the small fee. And you can talk to me about anything else you want. So that's why I do that. And then I can do the implementation, but I'd have to let you know about it. That's the guide where I'm going. And again, if you want, just wonder, learn, and subscribe. I think that's good. It just I don't know people's paths, where they want to go, especially with today's markets and the economy and whatnot. Anyways, I'll leave it at that. But I just wanted to put that out there for you, and maybe even learn about uh, this guy's Jacob. My apologies to him if I got the pronunciation wrong. There's so many people doing. I'm interpreting how he spells it. But anyways, Quant Journey with code on the Substack here at substack.com. Check it out. But it's a good path just to break down what's important in these types of systems to build out. And we'll leave it at that. Thanks for watching. Have a good